48,000.
Back to the feature table where we find Jason Kuhn right back in the saddle, raising with pocket deuces this time. Not quite aces, but good enough to get involved. 48,000 is the number, and Brian Rast has him pipped with a couple of threes.
Brian, one of the more aggressive players on the tour.
You know, somehow, taking a look at Brian Rast, you might guess that.
So it looks like Brian's decided to three-bet his pocket threes. And again, I think part of the reason he does that is a function of Jason Kuhn's late position raise, plus the fact that Brian himself is in the small blind, a notoriously difficult position to play.
Phil Locke gets out of the way. Kuhn just calls. Uh-oh.
Wow.
7 tray deuce. Set over set.
Yeah, not only is this an unbelievable cooler, but you have to remember both these players are very deep to start this hand. And from Jason's point of view, it's just almost impossible for him to be beat at this point. I mean, how could Brian Rast three-bet a hand like pocket threes? Even pocket sevens is not particularly likely. So Jason is sitting incredibly excited about this pot and the potential to win a huge pot.
Yeah, he feels like he's got Brian on the hook for at least 110,000 and just makes the call, giving him some rope, Olivier.
Yeah, I like this play from Jason. Brian's a very, very aggressive player, and they're very deep. So I would let Brian kind of continue his aggression. And since he's in position, he's able to make the last raise.
And look at this turn card, the ace of hearts.
Now, we know that Jason is in a world of trouble here, but both players are actually not that discouraged by this ace. They're both hoping that their opponent hit the ace and will continue to give action.
303,000 is the bet from Brian.
Now, of course, Brian could easily have a big ace himself, just continuation bet on the flop and then have hit the ace on the turn.
Kuhn just calls.
And we can see this pot has ballooned rather quickly. It's already over $1 million in chips.
And here comes the river. Ooh, that's a tricky one, the 5 of diamonds.
The 5 of diamonds does change things a little bit. It's a very scary card. Either player, in theory, could have a 4 and, of course, could have made a flush.
I'm all in.
Wow.
Rast moves all in.
Huge bet here from Brian Rast. This pot has the potential to be absolutely massive.
Oh, my God, it's so sick. Rast, I had you, buddy. I flopped a set. Oh, it's just like non-stop, man. Every single one of these spots. I get there, and I'm just like, yeah, cool. You know, I'm finally gonna have 3 million in one of these 100Ks. Do what I can do, and then flop a set, and that happens.
Just an incredibly difficult position for Jason. Obviously, he flopped what he considered to be the nuts. Now, we know he was beat on the flop, but he has no way of knowing that.
9 8 diamonds, 10 9 diamonds. Not that many combos, straights. Sorry, guys, it's one of the biggest hands I've ever been in.
Over 2 million in the pot.
I think if I were in Jason's position, I would just feel forced to call here. I wouldn't like it. And remember, Brian Rast is one of the most aggressive players on the tour. If anyone is capable of making this triple barrel massive bluff, it's Brian.
Only 4 combos and 4 5. Well, 3 combos and 4 5. This is so disgusting, man.
Kuhn calls. Surprise.
Ugh. Nice hand.
And when you said you had a set, I was flopped a set. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Which one?
Taking a little time. It's pretty thin shove.
Really got to give Brian credit. This is a really impressive value bet here.
888.
Nice hand, Brian.
Brian could have lost to pocket sevens. He could have lost to any 4 or any flush, but he still had enough confidence in his hand and in the situation to make this big value bet and ultimately win a huge pot. I think a number of players might have just checked the river, hoping their opponent check and win a much smaller pot. It's a nice bet there on the river and a huge pot.
The Andes have gone up to 5,000 blinds, are 15 and 30.
Well, action's going to be on Abby. She's got the 2 walking sticks, the pair of sevens. Caps her card. Obviously a sign she's going to play this pot.
Blinds at 12 and 24, and she's going to make it 63,000. A quick fold by Tommy Vitas. Now Alan Berry, he's quiet tonight. He doesn't play that hand.
Well, action on the chip leader. He looks down at a pair of 3s. You got plenty of chips. You like to see flops with small pairs. In hopes you flop a set, or you can break somebody.
Well, he's got the button, but he does not raise, just calling. Now Kurt Kohlberg going to fold.
Over to Justin Zaki, 26-year-old out of St. Petersburg, Florida. He's out as well.
So we got 3s up against 7s. Here's the flop.
Oh, and what a flop.
Oh.
It's king 7-3. It's set over set. Vince, this is known as a cooler, meaning there's no way you can get away from either one of these hands.
Not at all.
It's going to be tapioca pudding time.
Well, Abby bets, and he just calls, trying to trap. Not a spades. Irrelevant card on the turn. Set over set. Abby bets.
Well, Taylor thinks he's walking the dog again.
He's raised it. He's made it 300.
I'm all in.
But she's going to get all in. He's going to quickly call.
Wow.
And he's not going to like it when he sees he's got a one-outer. It's set over set. No way you can get away from either one of these hands, and no limit hold'em. You're just going down when you get the lower set.
Well, Taylor with a one-outer. Not to be as a 6 of clubs hits the board. Abby Daniels doubling up just beautifully right there. Back down to it. Scott this time with the queen 4, quickly mucks. Brian Hastings with the best hand you can get before the flop, pair of aces, and he will make it 300,000 quickly. Will he get action? Yes, Joe Poker with the pair of 7s.
Yeah, a little surprise for Oz folded king 10 in the small, but Joey, of course, not going anywhere with 7s in the big blind, so heads up to this flop.
The flop is ace 9 7.
Wow. You gotta be kidding me.
Both flop sets. Brian, of course, with top set of aces.
It is gonna take some kind of run out to prevent Joey from losing a ton of chips here. He's gonna start by just calling this bet from Brian. I do really like Joey's decision to call here.
Absolutely. You want to just trap your man. Little do you know that you're being trapped. A deuce on the turn.
Check.
And Joe, wow, he's going to check it. Brian will make a nice bet of 750.
Well, I'd like to be more articulate here, Vince, but really Joey is just screwed. I mean, there's just no way you prevent losing all of your chips here.
He's just calling, trying to trap. 3 on the river, not going to change anything. Set over set. Joey thinks he's trapping.
And I love the way that Joey has played this hand. 99% of the time, he's getting maximum value out of his opponent with his set via this slow play. Instead, he's about to lose it all.
Yeah, bet at 2.2. Now Joey, of course, Joe Poker, I should say, he has him covered.
Showing a little uncertainty in his face. Oh no, I'm facing a third barrel. I'm not really sure what to do here. I'm gonna have to think this one over. Oh, maybe I'll even use one of my time bank chips on the action clock as it ticks down.
Yes, we know that move. That's
Yeah.
a shrewd move made by a lot of pros.
Oh, I'm gonna need way more time on this one. I'm not sure I want to put a bunch of money in with a set on a dry board.
That's why you gotta love poker.
Call it.
There you go.
Call.
Insta call, and look at this. Joe's gonna turn him up like he has the winner. That hurts.
And you see him put his hands up like, well, what can I do? Nothing, really. You get a run out like that with set under set, you're going to double up your opponent. So, unfortunately for Joey, he built himself up to the chip leader at this final table, but suffers a huge setback there.
Well, there's Brian Hastings, fiancée Sonia enjoying the moment.